Since the beginning, we have looked to the heavens. The stars, our sun, the moon, and other celestial bodies have always drawn our eyes and captivated our minds. They have guided us with their patterns and inspired us spiritually. So naturally, when something unusual happens in the sky, outside of the daily cycles of the sun and the monthly cycles of the moon, we pay attention. Many ancient cultures feared solar eclipses, as they were thought to be bad omens which would bring misfortune or doom to the land. There are accounts that claim that the occurrence of a solar eclipse in the year 585 BC ended a 15-year-long war between the Lydians and the Medes in present-day Turkey. Both sides were in such awe that they determined it was a sign that the gods were angered by the fighting and that they should lay down their weapons and forge peace. Another solar eclipse, which was recorded in the English Chronicles on August 2nd, 1133 AD, was seen as an omen of the death of King Henry I and was validated by his death in Normandy soon after. Some early cultures had stories of the sun being devoured by monsters. In Norse mythology, Loki took revenge on the gods for imprisoning him by creating two giant wolves, which would chase and attempt to eat the sun and the moon. Each attempt would result in an eclipse, and if they were ever successful, it would indicate that Ragnarok was imminent. In other parts of the world, the occurrence of a solar eclipse was understood as the divine meeting of the masculine and the feminine, with the sun and the moon representing one or the other depending on the culture. Regardless of what they believed, the ancient people kept a keen eye on the cosmos. In doing so, they hoped to earn or keep the favor of nature's bounty. They relied on successful hunts, clean water, and fertile soil and enough rain to yield healthy crops. One could argue that they were much more in tune with the natural world than we are in the current age. In many cases today, society tends to view itself apart from the universe, from nature, rather than a part of it. We tend to think of our natural environment as a commodity to be conquered, rather than a charity to be conserved, or a luxurious retreat, rather than our home. Though the sources of the perspective shifts in recent centuries that have led us to this state of mind are still at the forefront of our reality day in and day out, there is something in us that is awoken, or perhaps not yet tainted by our own undoing, when we witness an astronomical event like an eclipse. Most of us do not worship it, nor do we fear it, as our ancient ancestors may have. We've come to understand the scientific reason for its occurrence, even to the point of being able to predict exactly when and where it will happen. But we still revere it. We yearn to see it when it happens. Most of us will be taking a break or time off from work, even if just briefly, and some of us will go as far as traveling to a far-off town, state, country, just to view it. Why? Is it simply something cool or interesting to see? A once-in-a-lifetime event that we can talk about in the years to come? Something to break up the mundane grind of the lives we're living? Or is it more than that? Could it be that such a dramatic event unavoidably strikes us with the awe of the innate beauty of nature that we have attempted to separate ourselves from? Or perhaps its rarity pushes back the ego, even if just momentarily or subconsciously, and lets us realize that our lives are fleeting, and that there is a higher and greater power at work. These are questions that I do not have the answers to, but I think they are worth pondering. The next time you witness an eclipse, will you think to yourself, well, that was neat, and continue going about your life as before? Or will you embrace the opportunity that nature has given you for a new perspective, a new beginning?